Let me give you a quick little tutorial on it, just real quickly. So, how do you re-enter a situation like Apple that you know that I love to be in, especially after trading it from in the hole using red dog reversals and then getting out of it and not feel like you're chasing. So if you look at the chart of Apple, we had a tremendous week with it, 2 weeks with it, right? First red dog reversal. This actually gave you the RDR in the S&P or the S&P cash. Here made a higher low. So right there, relative strength in Apple. That means I need to be following this. I need to be long this. I need to be more in tune versus when it's not leading. So I love when Apple leads. So then using a tier system, if you were just say you bought 1,000 Apple here at the red dog reversal, maybe here you're adding another 1,000 as it breaks the descending channel, then maybe into the gap up you're getting back to 1,000. So now you're in 1,000 here, you just traded through, then all of a sudden makes a new high. It's a little extended. Maybe you're holding 500 now. You just hold 500 for a good 10 points besides trading around it. Then look how it kind of closed below the moving averages, closed this little range here. The Qs didn't close great. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be cute. I'm going to get out of the way in Apple. Just because. Or the red dog, you're selling Apple. I thought it was going to be a swing trade. I'm like, I could sell it. I could always get back to it after a little bit of market discovery. So look at today's chart. Okay. I actually at first shorted a little bit. When the futures went and it didn't go, I shorted a little bit. And then it was like 9:48. I'm like, you know what? The buyback's going to start soon. I better be careful here. If it takes out the morning high, I'm going to get long it. So you go to the 1-day chart. Okay, I'm going to give you a little tactical lesson right here. So this is, I think, what is this, a 5-minute chart? So this was actually your first opening move. Went as high as whatever it went to 114.05. And this is really this is kind of where it put in its peak, 1430. So 114.30 to me was the high. 114.30 was right here. That was the reactionary high, it felt like, of the market. Took about 45 minutes for the SPYs to put a high in, and it felt as if, that might have been the extra push. Everyone that shorted a little right on the open. Now at least if tech wasn't going to hold, this was you're out. So right around here, I remember I shorted a little bit. I'm like, I'll short 114. I'll risk 30 cents. Yes, this is a scalping mechanism or tactical way to do it. So once all of a sudden I shorted it, which was somewhere around here, in my head I'm like, you know what? Let me watch it closely. I think it diverged a little bit from the SPYs. I'm not going to show you real quickly that. And right around here, I'm like, I'm out of it. I'm like, I'm not even going to give it to 114.30. And I didn't tweet saying I'm short Apple versus the 15-minute high just because I was doing it for a scalp. So I'm talking my way through it with the guys on the virtual trading floor. And it was a thought, because the thought on the note was, hey guys, let's see if we could sell tech, or some guys will try and sell tech to go from, green to red because it was weaker on Friday. It doesn't mean it has to happen. So I tried it. Then I got out of the way right here, and then as it took out 114.30, I started buying. Started buying a lot of it. So if you go like here, okay, let's go to real quickly to the virtual trade floor. So my first few trades were right there at 9:45. I'm sorry, you can look there. I shorted it twice, and then I covered it, into the 950, 951, 953. And then once it was covered, I switched to buys. And I literally went after it. Buy, 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 buy. Got into a nice tier. And then real quickly, I trimmed some, and then I held some pretty much all the way, all day. I sold a little bit at around 11 o'clock when it was up nicely. I came back from taking my Peloton class. Tech pulled in. I'm like, yeah, let me buy some Apple back. So you look at 14.26. That was at 2.26. I bought Apple back. I think it was like 15 and change. And now I'm long Apple again, and at least besides all these positions, it's strategic. Okay, I'm back in Apple. So where was that pulling? So this was 14.30. That's how it looks after you look at the whole day. And this was your push. And then went sideways and gave you actually another little wedge formation where you could have been a buyer there for another entry. I think I came back around 2 o'clock and I bought into this retest of this spot and wound up having a nice push. What was it, 236? So somewhere right around here. Yeah, this is 236 as it proved to hold. That's just day trading. Day trading. Not everything is a swing trade for weeks. Not everything is a swing trade for months. Not everything makes new all-time highs. Some things you have to test out a little bit, and it could be good for cash flow. So now, oops, that looks gross. All right, now let's go back. All right, so now Apple looks pretty good, right? Why does Apple look good? Well, you know, Red Dog loves when Apple is above the 8 and 21 day, which it is now. You know, kind of love when it's not extended, you know, like it was a little from here to there. So now there's a possibility that, you know what, in time, this 1772 gets taken out, and we see another move back towards 120.